it's still not the exact CPI. And this difference between the conversions and CPIs can make a very big difference in terms of the real CPI that you will get afterwards in the soft launch. Because there is like 1.5 or X difference between the estimated CPI and the real CPI.
It's 4 a.m. and we're rolling the dice. Matej drops knowledge made of golden eyes. Felix with ads making those coins rise. Jack up designs, worlds chasing the sky. We're the 2.5 gamers, the midnight crew. Talking UA adverts and game design too. Matej, Felix, Shaka bringing the insight. We're rocking those vibes till the early daylight. Matej, UA, master eyes on the prize. Tracking data through the cyberspace skies. Felix stacks dollars like a wizard in disguise. Jackup's crafted realms lift us to the highs. 2.5 gamers talking smack. Slow hockey stick, got your back. Ads are beautiful, they light the way. Click it fast, don't delay.
Hello, everybody. This is Matej Lancaric. Welcome to another solo episode. We know you love these, and we love doing this as well. So today, I'm going to talk about one important thing that's kind of bothering me for a while. Because back in the days, I was talking about marketability tests a lot. I wrote about marketability tests and how it can save your company millions a long time ago. And since then, I've been thinking about rewriting this article for a million times. Now, I've actually decided to talk about it. So prepare a presentation, then talking about how to think about it, what to do before, and all the fun around it. And then I have a diagram and a few other things I want to show you. And also we're going to talk about how to actually, not only talk about it, I'm going to actually show you how to set up the campaign again, because you loved it in the previous video where I took you through the campaign creation in the MVP UA template. If you didn't see it, just go and watch it. So here we go. Let's just do it like this. Share. Perfect. So here's a quick presentation about how you shouldn't do it. Honestly, you know how I'm gonna name the video? Just marketability tests are dead. Don't do it. Do this instead. So I'm going to talk about how to define a goal, like actually how people are thinking about the marketability tests, like defining the goal, concept testing, CPI testing, CTR testing, and all the fun. So how to define the goal and how to actually think about it. You need to be able to say, like, what are you even testing? There are still people that think that marketability test is gonna show you exactly what's gonna work and what is gonna have the lowest possible CPIs. And it's just a bulletproof test. So if you do a marketability test, then you're golden. Well, you're not. Marketability tests here, or any marketability tests, just kind of show you the way which is the lowest possible evil to go. So you're kind of picking and choosing from different art styles, themes, settings, characters, whatever else. And you need to be able to say, if you're looking at CTRs, CPIs, like what exactly is the KPI you're looking at. And even before going to the kind of whole marketability test, people should always do a market research. But again, some companies just go really deep and go like, oh, this is the audience, which you should absolutely agree. You should know who are you gonna create the game for, obviously. But then, like kind of going into the interests, and you're asking the different questions and behaviors and whatever else. And then obviously, there's nothing wrong about just creating another data point in your decision making. So you go and list 3-5 different competitors. Back in the days, it was basically just going into the Facebook, all these insights, and then just kind of try to seek the overlap between the game that you are trying to create and then some competitors. But now we have all the different tools like Quantic Foundry, Solsten. You can ask different questions with Pigfu. But also, if you don't have enough resources and you need something for free, just you can go and check out the ChatGPT, Gemini, or whatever else, just to help you identify different data points and competitors and whatever else. So here we have, we are going to do an idle battler, and I want to know how the market looks like. And this idle battler plus collection, whatever. I just made it up, obviously. So 5-minute exercise, you can do it easily. And then obviously you need to know, as I mentioned, who is the target audience. And people are just going crazy about personas. And if you are listening to me for some time, which I believe you are, I've been very much against, not being against, but personas, creating a persona is quite misleading. It was a thing baking like a long time ago when you have a persona, you create messaging and whatever else, and you target these people and these personas. But in this era and landscape where you have 5 best performing concepts, freezing families, saving the King Richard, Gates, you have whatever else, AI stuff, and like who cares about the persona? You can have 10 personas, create 10 different messagings, and then after all, you know what's going to work? Freezing families. If you have a casual game, if you have a Forex or something else, gates are going to do quite well. If you have a social casino these days, you put idle game in the onboarding. There you go. Nobody fucking cares about personas. You shouldn't as well. Anyway, enough with the ranting. You go for the CTR tests, blah blah blah. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. It's very important to know what are like how to interpret the results, because you run the CTR tests. You have 5 different themes or art styles or whatever, and you're going to monitoring the CTR. And usually there's like almost no winner, because usually let's say I'm having 5 different concepts tested. Every concept like 3% CTR or 3.5 or 3.2, and these things happen more often than they're not. So it's very important to have a clear winner. So you should be aiming for 5% plus if you're doing these tests, obviously 5% plus. How did I come up with this number? Is like from the 10 millions of tests that I've done before. And as soon as you have 5% and more, there is an interesting winner, and something you can work with. 10 plus, even better. But don't really try to dream about this. These are the results for hyper casual games, 10 plus, whatever else. So clear concepts. What are you doing afterwards? So if there is a concept that is 5%, it doesn't mean this is the golden ticket for you making millions. This means this art style has potentially the best chance to get the lowest possible CPI. But CPI, as you all know, is only one part of the equation, right? Because then you have the LTV on the other hand. So you need to be very careful about basically anything around the marketability test, because it can be very misleading. So what if there is basically no clear winner? You can do a lot of different things. You can go and iterate, and you can just test everything that you want. Characters, different background, all of it. Nothing matters that much. What I think you should do instead of these marketability CTR anyway tests are the CPI testing. Because if you are already kind of running and thinking about this, and you should definitely test at least something before you go and just start the 6 months production. If you're running CTR tests, it can be misleading. Why? Because you're getting clicks and you're measuring clicks. So you're basically showing your ads to people that are clicking on this. It's no other audience, just clickers. That's why you need CPIs, because this is simulating at least the real CPI flow, video or static image to the store, to the install, whatever is wrapped inside the APK. At least this is the real flow, because if you use landing page and different conversions, and I'm going to get to it and show you how you can set it up, it's still not the exact CPI. The problem with this is the same. The setup is the same. You have the 3, 4, 5 different static images, idle videos that can kind of simulate the real gameplay, and you optimize for the installs. Period. That's it. But then you go for the CPIs, IPMs, and all the different KPIs that actually matters in terms of the install flow, and make decisions based on this. So like this is kind of like this is the test that you wanna go for, because it simulates the whole flow the best. Okay, so let me just kind of switch this tab instead, which is obviously the same thing, but it's just the flow. So again, clarifying the questions, which geos, whatever arts, is the concept even worth testing? If you kind of answer these questions, great. Let's go. The CTRs are the tests that we already talked about. But again, here, CPI test with real or placeholder APK. Nobody cares. You need the CPI to get. You needed the APK to get the real CPIs. Why? Because even if you go and try to send people to your landing page and optimize for the button that you have on the landing page which says play now or download or whatever, and you test, you get that as a conversion point and you send it back to Facebook and you optimize for this event, it's better obviously than the click campaigns, but it's still not the exact CPI. And this difference between the conversions and CPIs can make a very big difference in terms of the real CPI that you will get afterwards in the soft launch. Also, there's a lot of different elements like store conversion and whatever else that has an impact on CPI. But if you do this, go for the CPI, go for the APK and the CPI. Because then what I want to say, there is like 1.5 or X difference between the estimated CPI and the real CPI. So you will be very much surprised that, oh my God, I had 70 cents in the testing. And then suddenly you have $2 or 1.5. It's a very big difference, right? So watch out. So again, let's get back to this. You don't have the APK, fine. You go to landing page and set up a test again. And I actually made the landing page for you. It's 5 minutes. Gemini, thank you very much. So this is our landing page. If you have resources, go to Geek Lab, our friends of the podcast. You can set it up as a fake store page, and you don't really need to do anything like this. It just costs you money. If you don't have the money, this is the way to go. What you do is just you upload like this. This can be a landing page basically. You go, you have a landing page, implement Facebook Pixel. You track every click on Play Now and send that as a conversion back to Facebook. Simple as that. We'll create a conversion campaign. Beautiful world. If you are already here, you know what you can do. Wrap this landing page and the Play Now button into an APK. There you go. I mean, it can be that simple. The APK doesn't really need to have anything else. No ad tracking, I think it's just, this is it. I mean, if you go in this and then you can just have a Facebook SDK in there. Easy as that. So you go there and then simulate the CPI campaigns. So that's the minimum flow. You go prepare creatives. I have here 3 to 6 ads, ideal images, well, ideal videos, but you can go with images and then different variations. You always go to US. That's the most important part. No UK, no other stuff that I'm talking about in the soft launch video, which you can check out here or here, whatever, wherever. The soft launch video. You go to US. That's the market test. It's that's your target audience. Nothing else matters. I have here like 5 to 10K, which is usually a long monthly test for like market testing, but I think you can do better. You can go with 1,000, 2,000, depends on the actual like the CPI that you can get. You need something like 500 installs in here and go with Facebook. Again, you can do CPI campaign, but if you go with the wrapped APK and you can actually send that event back to Facebook even, that's going to be kind of simulation of the up event optimized campaign, which is way closer to purchase-oriented campaigns, which you will run in the future. So if you can do that, that's even better. And this is kind of getting a little bit more complicated than I want to explain, but still, CPI first. If you're sending that sign-up event, that's even better. So the results. We have different themes, different results. Look, we are looking at the CPIs and just going for the sign-ups and whatever. Also, very important comment from my end. Every time you test anything, a low poly art style always wins. Thank you very much, Hyper Casual era. This is such a broad appeal. It's gonna always have the lowest CPI possible. And then it's up to you if you want to work with it or not. But still, I like 10 out of 10 tests in the past showed exactly the same result. So again, we're kind of trying to evaluate the results. Are good, bad, borderline, whatever else. If it's good enough, you go and prototype and go to soft launch, or good enough for you. If it's really bad, just kill it with fire right away. If everything is the same and all the themes are showing the same, kind of go to your team and look at your capabilities. If you're good in 3D, go for 3D. If you have only 2D artists, go for 2D. Kind of weigh in your own team capabilities and then try to combine these 2 data points with CPIs. Don't really go like, hey, but this is 10% better, so we need to go this because this is the result. Try to use your brain and just sense, or just someone said, or Matej said, that we should definitely go with this. Try to interpret your own data. But anyway, the also very important part is if you're doing a test and you're going in soft launch 6, 9, 10 months, the data might not be that accurate anymore. So think about that as well. So look, that here is actually a short version of the diagrams. You can go and just check how it works. But I actually created four different images and static images for our test. So let's go to Facebook and let's try to actually create a campaign. So we go here. Whoops. We go here. Create a campaign. We can do leads or sales because we are doing a conversion. If there is no CPI, if there is CPI and APK, it's the app install campaign that we've done before. If it's conversion only, then we go here. Leads. Thank you very much. No AI. Go to this. We have everything here. Is the budget. Let's do 150 or 250 in this case, just from the start. Depends on your kind of money in your bank account. But let's say we do 250. We want to go to the conversions on the website, maximize number of conversion. Of course, value of conversion doesn't matter. Let's say this is my pixel tracking, obviously, because I already set it up for you. So let's say it's complete registration. And then everything is standard, daily budget. We have everything in it. Slovakia, not really. Thank you very much. United States it is. And we go down and not so suggestions. Yes, this is what we want. Okay, fine. We can go broad or we can just go, for my case here, I'm just going to go broad and all genders. Creative is gonna go for the whole target audience. But here, this is very important. We go only mobile, no desktop, and ideally either Android or iOS. I go for Android usually as for, but it's up to you. You can do iOS as well, and then 12 plus, or maybe even the latest OS version. So we kind of skip the low. We skip the low end devices. Okay, so here we go. So let's say is low poly, and then we actually go to ad set level budget. So because we want to control the traffic for all four ad sets. So we had 250, so let's say 75. Well, let's say we go for 50 per day, which is going to be fine. So then we go, okay, this is my personal, nobody cares. Fine. Well, this is your URL, which is now mine. And I don't really want carousel image. I want single image. Thank you very much. Well, that's cool. Get rid of all this AI stuff. Okay, so we have image. I already have this image, so I have low poly there. So fine, thank you very much. This is it. This is it, and this is it. Okay, are you ready? Then play game. Do this. Okay. So here we have the first ad set. We don't really want any of this here. Done. Okay, thank you. So we have low poly. Then let me just create a marketability test recording to 5 gamers. Very good. Okay, so we have low poly. Then we create another one. We actually create three others, because then we have, let's say, the stylized whatever. Then you go here, change the creative. The landing page stays the same. I mean, whatever. Doesn't matter, just for the sake of testing this. Thank you. Okay, so then here, let's say this is variant. We changed the creative here as well. Everything has the $50 per day budget, so don't forget about this. So, okay, this is the variant again. Thank you. Okay, so we have this. Okay, let me just change the text to, and then the last, let's say it's variant 3. I think you can do a little bit better naming convention here, so you know what it actually is when you look at it at first sight. This is just for testing purposes, and we have basically all of this done and set up. So we have marketability test 1, 2, 3, 4 different ad groups or ad sets, with each of these is their own budget, so we have equal chance of sending traffic to all 4. This is what we ran for, let's say, 3 days. And then, I would look at it even tomorrow just to see like how it actually works, and then increase budget or just stay the same. Because here we might get enough data for what we want in, let's say, 4 days. We might not, and we need to increase the budget. So then you hit publish, and then thank you very much. See you in a few days. So this is basically how I would set up the whole kind of marketability test. So don't forget, this setup was the conversion, which is the landing page and force the CTRs and whatever else. CPI is better. So I can go here and then just create this. So again, marketability tests are dead. Do this instead. Thank you very much for listening, guys. If you have any questions, please comment under the video and join the Slack channel, and see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye.